This is the 5th fight on the prelims of the UFC Fight Night. Bobby Green versus Grant Dawson. This is Chris Gutierrez at bantamweight, 135 pounds, versus Montel Jackson. And my pick is back end. My pick is going to be Montel Jackson.
My pick is going to be Montel Jackson as well, but I have no confidence in who to pick on this one. I'm just going by like Montel Jackson's throwing intention. So that's why I'm going. Chris Gutierrez is a ranked fighter.
Yeah, number 13.
He's actually a really good technical striker.
Yeah.
He has a lot of those feinting feints and twists with his hips to make it look like he's kicking type stuff. As far as like
talent,
kicking and striking, he does a lot of like flare type striking, like, as far as like spinning and he does a lot of that stuff. Montel Jackson is not that type of guy.
No, yeah, exactly. I would say Montel is very by the book, textbook. He's textbook.
He's a defensive striker, but he throws with some like heat.
He can throw with some heat. I mean, his overhands are powerful when he wants to be. I just think that he's figured out a recipe for success, and that's got him to 13 wins and 2 losses. So not bad. The defensive style is working for him. But if someone wants to come and be aggressive, he doesn't just need to back away. He can go ahead and throw a check hook, a check punch that can hurt you.
He can stand in the phone booth too.
Yeah, exactly. When he wants to be aggressive and he feels like he has you hurt, he does have killer instinct. And he will step in and throw something with intention, with power, and with some speed on the punch. So Montel Jackson is 13-2, and he's the favorite. He's minus $200.
He's not even ranked yet.
He's not even ranked yet. He's $200 to make 100 against number 13 in the world, Chris Gutierrez, who is in fact coming off a loss against a guy who's like top 8, Pedro Munoz.
Yeah.
You know, who's fought against former champions and knocked out former champions like Cody Garbrandt, right? So,
but like, do you think Montel Jackson sets a pace? Like goes forward, like keeps coming. Is that him? Because I could say Pedro Munoz is.
Munoz does.
Yeah, Montel, I don't know if he does that.
No. Okay, the way I look at it is this, and this is why I'm going with Montel, and I'm confident in Montel in this fight. I'm not super confident because Chris Gutierrez is ranked. You know, it's like to bet against a ranked fighter, and you have to pay $200 to make 100 on an unranked fighter. It's not the greatest deal. However, the way I see this fight is Chris Gutierrez stands too close. And is there to be kicked on his legs and on his body, and also there to be punched. Proof is how he threw a leg kick, and Munoz just countered it with a big overhand and knocked out Gutierrez, and Gutierrez is the longer rangier fighter. Yeah. And Munoz was just able to knock him down in the first. And that's why it happens, because Gutierrez stands too close. Montel keeps really good distance. This is huge also. Montel Jackson has a 75.5-inch reach advantage, 8.5 reach advantage, 8.5-inch reach advantage over Gutierrez.
Yes.
Ridiculous.
75.5 is what his reach is, and he has 8.5 inches more than what Gutierrez has.
At 67-inch for Gutierrez.
Yes.
This is ridiculous because if basically the thing about it is Gutierrez does not throw enough punches. That's his problem. He likes to be flashy, like Curtis said, and he likes to do some like spinning elbows, spinning back fists. Against a guy like Montel who keeps really good distance, Montel's not going to be there to be hit by a spinning back fist. Montel never overcommits. Yeah. Montel is very smart and defensive, and when you come in like Gutierrez sometimes does by standing too close, then Montel will throw a kick back up, throw a check punch back up, check you with a punch. So Montel is going to be landing with punches and kicks, and Gutierrez is only going to have kicks. Problem is that Jackson is good at backing up, and Gutierrez might not even land those kicks.
With that reach in general, do you think
8 inches.
He could get some takedowns because of that reach? Like, he could grab the guy and take him down because he has a bigger
that's
reach.
Another great point, man. Montel Jackson, he's smart. Like we're saying, he's 13-2 for a reason. He will, at the end of rounds, he will literally use that reach, use that defensiveness to, throw something and then rush you against the cage and hold you against the cage just to make sure he wins at the end of the rounds. So he's a winner. He knows how to win, and in the judges' eyes, if it's a close round and then Montel just goes ahead and holds you against the cage for like 20, 30 seconds at the end, he's going to clinch these rounds. Gutierrez doesn't have that mindset. Gutierrez has a kill or be killed type of mindset. He wants to go ahead and throw kicks with, heavy power. He wants to throw spinning back fists that could shut your lights out. That's Gutierrez in a nutshell. And then you have Montel Jackson, who's a defensive fighter who punches and gets away, lets you walks into punches. You know what I mean? Like has a smart punch selection, will never overcommit and put his head in harm's way.
His IQ. His
IQ.
Fight IQ, yes.
His IQ is there. And I also think, though, Montel Jackson Gutierrez has to run into a punch, and Gutierrez, I think, is too good for that because he's number 13 in the world. He did get knocked down by Munoz, but again, that was because he threw a leg kick, and Munoz just freaking rushed with a big overhand and looping punch over the top, and it just landed perfectly. But other than that, Chris Gutierrez is fast. Right? Overall pretty fast and twitchy.
Technical.
He's doing the different feints. He's always, moving forward, moving back. It's hard to read his movements.
He's setting up.
Yeah, it's not easy. Montel's a textbook fighter, so to finish somebody like Gutierrez would be a hell of a feat. And with 8-inch reaches, it could happen. I'm not saying it won't. But what I'm saying is that I just believe that Gutierrez is good enough with the power of his leg kicks, with the head movement, the slickness, the quickness, the feints, to keep Montel Jackson at least away from getting a big knockout blow. Also, Montel doesn't really take you down to do ground and pounding. Like I said, he cage holds you. He likes to stall against the cage. I believe it's going to be Montel Jackson by decision. I think another safe bet is just that this fight goes the distance. If you don't have a pick, going the distance it might be a better price because Montel Jackson is so expensive in this fight. So I don't know, man. I feel like Montel Jackson's got the, like you said, the IQ, the reach advantage, the punches and kicks versus Gutierrez just has the kicks. Of course, Gutierrez is the ranked fighter, so I understand how some people would want to pick Gutierrez, no doubt. But distance is a great bet for either guy. Gutierrez is going to be so hard to do any damage to a guy who has an 8-inch reach advantage and who's defensive. And Jackson really just goes for check punches for the knockouts. I don't know. I'm thinking distance, but Montel is a pick, minus 200. Not a horrible price, but Montel Jackson decision, I'm hoping it'll be like plus money.
That's going to be plus money for sure. Montel Jackson for the win. Like, subscribe, comment.